Gregory Peck, born Eldred. Gregory Peck, on April 5, 1916, in La Jolla, California, came from a family with Irish and English roots. His childhood wasn't easy. His parents separated when he was very young, and he was primarily raised by his grandmother. Despite the emotional weight of that separation, he found comfort and focus in academics and athletics. He went on to study at the University of California, Berkeley, where he initially pursued English and pre-med. However, it was during his time there that his true passion revealed itself, the stage. Peck began acting in college plays and quickly discovered a deep love for performing that would shape the rest of his life. After graduating, he took his craft seriously and trained at the renowned neighborhood Playhouse School of the Theater in New York City under the guidance of Sanford Meisner, one of the most respected acting teachers of the era. Peck's imposing 6'3" frame and resonant baritone voice gave him an unforgettable presence, and it didn't take long before Broadway, and soon after Hollywood, took notice. He wasn't just another handsome face. Hollywood saw in him a rare blend of striking looks and moral depth, the kind of leading man who could carry stories of great emotional and ethical weight. Peck's film career began to flourish in the 1940s. His role in The Keys of the Kingdom, 1944, brought him his first Academy Award nomination. Critics and audiences were impressed by his ability to bring sincerity and layered emotion to his characters. He refused to rely on superficial charm, preferring to fully inhabit his roles. The late 1940s and 1950s cemented his status as one of the most respected and bankable stars in Hollywood. In Alfred Hitchcock's Spellbound, 1945, he portrayed a man suffering from amnesia, while in Gentleman's Agreement, 1947, he took on the challenging role of a journalist exposing anti-Semitism in post-war America. This was a bold choice at the time and showcased not only his acting skill but also his willingness to tackle difficult subjects with integrity. However, it was his unforgettable portrayal of Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird, 1962, that sealed his legacy forever. Based on Harper Lee's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, Peck embodied the role of the principled Southern lawyer defending an innocent black man falsely accused of rape during the era of segregation. His quiet strength, unwavering decency, and compassion in the role made a profound impact. It earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor and established Atticus Finch as one of the greatest heroes in cinematic history, according to the American Film Institute. Peck often said this was the role he was proudest of, not just as an actor, but as a person, because Atticus reflected his own beliefs in justice, fairness, and moral courage. Beyond his film work, Gregory Peck was a man deeply engaged with social issues. He was an outspoken advocate for humanitarian causes, civil rights, and nuclear disarmament. In recognition of his cultural influence and commitment to progress, President Lyndon B. Johnson awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1969. He also served as president of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and was active in the American Cancer Society. His influence extended far beyond the screen. Through the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s, Peck remained beloved, even as he gradually transitioned away from leading roles. He appeared in The Omen, 1976, a chilling horror classic that introduced him to younger audiences. In 1989, he received the AFI Life Achievement Award, honoring his artistic legacy and moral presence in American cinema. Peck's personal life was equally full of triumphs and sorrows. In October 1942, at the beginning of his Hollywood ascent, he married Finnish-American Greta Kukkonen, 1911-2008. She was a woman of quiet strength who stood by him during his early years. Together they had 3 sons, Jonathan, born 1944, Stephen, born 1946, and Carrie Paul, born 1949. For over a decade, they appeared to be the perfect Hollywood family. However, after 13 years, Their marriage ended in divorce in December 1955. A turning point in Peck's life, the most devastating moment, came years later. On June 26, 1975, Jonathan, his eldest son, was found dead in his home. The death was ruled a suicide. Peck later spoke about this loss with raw honesty, saying, "It's the most terrible thing that has happened to me in my life." You never get over a thing like that. The pain of losing Jonathan never left him. Yet, life also brought him profound love. Just one day after finalizing his divorce in 1955, Peck married Veronique Pisani, 1932-2012, a vibrant French journalist he had first met in 1952 during a press interview before he traveled to Italy to film Roman Holiday. Their connection was immediate, though they didn't begin dating until months later. They formed one of Hollywood's most enduring marriages, remaining deeply devoted to each other until his death nearly 50 years later. Together, they had two children, Anthony, born 1956, who became an actor and producer, and Cecilia, born 1958, who pursued acting and documentary filmmaking. Through marriages and grandchildren, the Peck family remained connected to the entertainment world. Notably, Anthony married supermodel Cheryl Tiegs, and Gregory's grandson, Ethan Peck, has followed in his grandfather's footsteps as an actor, carrying both his looks and his dignified presence into a new generation. Gregory Peck wasn't only admired for his roles in films like To Kill a Mockingbird and Roman Holiday, he was also respected for his warmth and reflections about his peers. One actor he spoke of with particular admiration was James Stewart. Known for his lanky frame, distinctive drawl, and everyman charm, Stewart captured the hearts of audiences worldwide. But Peck revealed that there was far more to James Stewart than met the eye. Over the years, he shared personal insights about Stewart's discipline, insecurities, loyalty, and humor, what he referred to as James Stewart's secrets. "Jimmy always looked so natural, so effortless," Peck said in an interview. But the truth is, he worked harder than anyone I knew. He didn't just step in front of the camera and wing it. He studied the scripts, analyzed the characters, and thought deeply about every line. That was one of his secrets. Audiences assumed Stewart's charm was entirely natural, but Peck emphasized that it was actually the result of meticulous preparation and craftsmanship. Peck also revealed that Stewart carried a surprising amount of self-doubt. Even after iconic performances in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington and It's a Wonderful Life, Stewart would ask Peck, "Greg, do you think I've got another good one in me?" This vulnerability and humility, rarely seen publicly, was another of his secrets. People thought of him as so confident, so steady, Peck recalled, but privately he questioned himself in a way that made him deeply human. Peck admired this trait, recognizing that it made Stewart both relatable and admirable. Another quality Peck admired was Stewart's deep loyalty. "If you were his friend, you were his friend for life," he said. Stewart would write letters, check in regularly, and offer quiet help when needed. These thoughtful gestures rarely made headlines, but they revealed the depth of his character. Peck himself experienced Stewart's loyalty through personal notes of encouragement during difficult times. Stewart's service as a bomber pilot in World War II also left a permanent mark on his soul. Though he rarely spoke about the war, Peck noticed a gravity in his eyes. People said he had a quality of decency on screen, Peck explained, but it wasn't just acting. It came from what he had lived through. Stewart's wartime experiences infused his performances with a profound sense of responsibility and moral weight. But Stewart also had a lighter side. "Jimmy had a mischievous sense of humor," Peck said with a smile. He loved playing practical jokes, hiding someone's hat, flubbing a line to break tension on set. It was part of his charm, a man who didn't take himself too seriously despite his immense fame. Peck once summarized Stewart's character beautifully. "The real secret about Jimmy was that he never let Hollywood change him. Fame never corrupted him. He remained the same hard-working, humble man from Indiana that he'd always been. That's why audiences loved him, because what they saw on screen wasn't an act. It was who he really was. For Gregory Peck, sharing these secrets wasn't about revealing flaws. It was about honoring James Stewart as a man, one whose greatness came from talent, yes, but also from loyalty, humility, humor, and authenticity. If there's a secret to Jimmy Stewart, Peck concluded, it's that he was as good a man off-screen as he was on it. And that's saying a lot. On June 12, 2003, Gregory Peck passed away peacefully in his sleep at age 87 from bronchopneumonia at his Los Angeles home. His death marked the end of an era, the passing of one of the last true icons of Hollywood's golden age. At his side was his beloved wife Veronique, his partner of nearly half a century. Their love story, enduring through fame and tragedy, stood as a testament to their bond. He was laid to rest at the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels Mausoleum in Los Angeles, surrounded by family, friends, and admirers who came to say goodbye not only to a legendary actor, but to a moral compass of his generation. One of the most moving moments at his funeral came when Brock Peters, his friend and co-star who played Tom Robinson in To Kill a Mockingbird, delivered the eulogy, an emotional tribute to a man who had spent his life embodying decency both on and off screen.